Fake news. Problems in Alliance? Oh, no problems.
Nico Baby and a bunch of new guys, FNG, who are all no longer there. So it's just Nico Baby and a bunch of new guys, right?
And Sim, how was for you when you were there? The structure, the leadership, did the team feel healthy when you were inside?
Like when we first joined the team and we won Div 2, everything was kind of on the highs. You know, like the atmosphere, the feelings, everything was just good. Of course, we were losing a lot of scrims during that period of time, but it didn't matter because we were winning officials. And there were moments where it was like kind of dark and like kind of very emotional comments directed at me. I think there were like a lot of problems before I joined this team, and I ended up being all these problems were like put on me for some reason, I'd say. Most of them.
The scapegoat.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair.
So sorry, maybe I'm a little out of the loop. Are you still on the team?
No, I left.
You left. Okay, you guys have like one more game left, but you guys are pretty much being relegated to Division 2 again, right? Yeah. So you're like, okay, like not gonna finish the season, just gonna peace out, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
well, not Kubra.
I kind of we had like this talk after we lost against, who was it? Did we lose the 5th game? I don't remember who, but we had this talk at night, at like midnight, and we were trying to be honest with each other. And Nico kind of went up front and just said like, the org wants to, like, they are thinking of kicking you if your performance is bad for like the next few weeks. And when Nico was asking about everyone else's opinion about like how they felt when he said this, no one said anything. And then I decided to think about this all night and see where the real problem is, because I don't think the problem is just me. It can never just be one person's fault. It's a whole team collectively. And for them to kind of put the blame on me is surprising, honestly, because we have so many different problems, and it's not just, I wouldn't say I was playing great. Of course I had my good and bad games, but I tried my best given the circumstances, you know.
Yeah, to you, what do you feel like was like one of the most glaring problems with your team?
We
had to just speak to something at a high level.
We weren't agreeing to one idea, because in Dota you want to agree to like one idea you have, and we always wanted to do something different. Like if you want to hit a tower, then someone's going to farm a camp, an extra camp where we don't need to, or someone's going to go somewhere else and do their own thing. Like we never followed one idea. That was the biggest issue. We had a lot of arguments about this.
Comments.
And do you feel like the org itself, like like Loda, and I guess maybe just, I don't know how far it goes, but maybe Loda, do you feel like he's the one kind of
my team got bad,
directing these like roster changes and things, or do you feel like it's more
I think
within the team?
From what I know, Loda was asking about me, like everyone, like how they feel about me, and I think
all of them, like, so very leading questions is
he asked, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but from what one of the players told me is he asked like if I'm ready to carry on playing like in the team, and they all said no. So this was after like I already made my decision to leave. We just had like these one-on-one talks, and everyone was like being more open about things.
So I actually wanted to bring, sorry Peter, I actually wanted to bring Peter and Johan on purpose to this conversation, because you guys are two of the most inspiring leaders I ever been around, inside and outside of the game. But you are very different from each other in some elements. I think, Peter, you were more
blah 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 leadership, PPD, and his time in Alliance.
But I was
my experiences with Alliance when I was there coaching is that they were sort of aimless. To be quite honest, I don't think that S4 gets a lot of positive praise for being a very nice guy and being a cool, calm, collected leader. But in my experiences, I don't think that he was much of a leader at all. He was generally like the last person to show up to practice and didn't really contribute or share like his ideas to the extent that he needed to get everybody on board. And that caused the team to just sort of be aimless, and they avoided those
Now you know
difficult
it was me, guys.
conversations rather than taking them head on. And that was why they didn't like me there, because I made them have those conversations. They just wanted to avoid the conflict in general. And I think that's maybe what Loda is trying to do with your team, or was trying to do with your team, Sim. I mean, who was the captain, right? Who was sort of leading things?
Stoma
from your side.
mainly, but like it was more of like a collective thing. Because I know in Dota, like you have this one main guy who has the ideas, and you have to follow this guy's idea, otherwise you get kicked, let's say. And
Yeah, there's clicks, right? There's certain,
yeah,
hey, these 2 players have more say than the other 3.
like
Or
you have these timings from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, and then from later on it's just how the players want to play. But we never really had the one main guy who we had to follow these ideas with.
yeah, so I guess my critique of that is, I'm not saying that you need like this. You don't need this strong leader to tell everyone how to play Dota, but sometimes you need that strong leader who's willing to speak up and maybe say the wrong thing when when the room goes quiet, right? When there's that awkward, what do we do next? Somebody has to say something, and that's the leader. The leader is the one that steps up and says something when nobody else wants to talk.
Yeah,
I think that's a void that needs filled on any team, I think.
Yeah.
So I spoke to Loda when I was coaching. We had like a phone call after the tournament, and we kind of had this like, heart-to-heart conversation about how we felt about the team. He mentioned a lot of the same struggles that I was having, where people were just avoiding the elephants in the room, and I can relate. And when I watch the video, I understand what he's trying to do. Is he going about it in the best way? Probably not, but that's very subjective. And I think he's just doing his best. Like, he's just trying to help the team in any way that he can, is how I saw it.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I was not really trying to drama bait, but I think that when I saw the video is first, Loda cares. He cares a fucking
Yeah,
lot.
he does care, for sure.
He does
Like,
care.
he has no bad intentions in whatever he says, for sure.
And then I feel that for me, that conversation, from what I read, and I don't know, is probably a few months late, where frustration has already built, It has crystallized the frustration, and now it's just ranting and screaming.
I missed the part where
I
that's
feel
my
that
problem.
there were maybe healthier ways to not get to where you have to go and have that, Because by then, there's nothing constructive you're doing. When you're telling your players, like, don't be scared of fucking up, but be scared of fucking up. And then that's a very complicated message, So it's my job on the line, and I have to be scared. And
Very cool. I can't. Skipped, I mean, it was over. That was only part of Alliance. I mean, there was not even any drama about it. Alliance sucks. A part, and even a big part, was Symmetrical was garbage. I mean, there's no denying. But of course, it's not the only problem. There's more problems. Symmetrical played like a goddamn big. But the rest of the team is also big. But Symmetrical was the biggest big.
Giling-giling, 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 yung naman tunaw ang taba. Giling-giling.